Okay, another sales aid that we've provided to the dealers over the years has been what we call our cleaning seaming repair board. This is how you use a sales aid. This is probably, along with the little mini countertop, this one here is probably the most popular sales aid that people use, and your customers, just like the little mini countertop, they like to pick it up, they like to look at it, understand it, and really realize why they're paying so much money for a countertop. And when they start looking, and if you start explaining the value of what they're getting by using these sales aids, you're going to find your job is going to be an awful lot easier. So let me start with this. If you look at this real close, on this side here, you can see this glue that we've left on this countertop. This is a section that was completely cut off. We did it with a table saw, we cut it off. So this could be a glue joint that we've done here in the shop, or it could be a field seam out in the field when we had too large of a countertop to put together for a particular customer in transport. What we've done is the glue, when you put it together, we put the joint adhesive together. It oozes up out of the countertop, and then when it sets up and it's dry, this is how it looks. So as I do this, you can tell it's very hard. Then what we do is we take a router and we go right down to the surface of the Corian and we route it down. And on these sales aids that you folks should have, there's about 4 or 5 inches of it, and you can feel it right here. You can run your finger across it and you can feel that joint adhesive right there. So that's step number 2. The third step to making a nice joint is the finish sanding. And what we do is, when you run your hand across this bottom third of this particular display, it's very, very smooth and you can't even feel it. That is the finished seam that your customers will get when we get done with putting it into their house, or if we have to put a seam together here in the shop. And when you look at this, if you look at it right up close, depending on the pattern now, most of the time that seam will not be visible. But we never say it's invisible. You always say it's inconspicuous, because in the DuPont world of Corian, nothing is invisible. It's always inconspicuous, because a seam, a visible seam, is not a warranted problem. So that's what you'll find, is most of the time they won't find it, but in case they do, at least it's going to be an inconspicuous one, and they should never feel it. That would be something that they won't do. They won't feel that seam when it's all said and done. Now, the other thing with this particular display, if you look at it, we have this little arrow thing on it. This particular section shows you what's happened. Let's say somebody has dropped a hammer on this thing. The contractor jumps up on the countertop to change a light bulb or something. He dropped his hammer and breaks off a piece of Corian. Well, the beautiful thing with Corian is it can be repaired. But depending on the break, it's sometimes a little harder than others. So what we would do is we go down and we would take and we would make what's called a V-cut. If you look on the back, I don't know if it shows up there or not, but there's a cut. We cut a V out of that countertop. You can kind of see the line here. I'm up close, but this is the way it's cut. We do this all by hand. We have jigs, but this is all done by hand. Once we cut that out, we have another piece that we cut to the same size. We'll go in, we'll glue it up, similar to what we do over here on the seam. We glue it up, and then we let it harden up, and then we sand it down. And this is the result. In most cases, again, you will not see it. Now, the way to use this is when you have it in your showroom and you're showing your people this, after you're done talking about it, take your arm and just put it right over that arrow. I call it the arrow. Just put it right over that and ask them, can you see that seam? In most cases, they won't be able to see it. So this is another feature with Corian that you can do where you cannot do it with stone and you cannot do it with laminate. The third thing with this particular board is the cleaning. And this board, I will have another video that will show how stains are removed. But this particular board is designed so that you, the dealer, you take a magic marker, you write right on this thing, and you show people how it cleans up and removes the stains in the nice, easy, the easy way that what you do to maintain this particular Corian to look as good as new. There will be a video, and that will be under our cleaning video, which you will be seeing later after you're done. Thank you.